Sisters and brothers, spirituality begins with the one who projects himself as a spiritual person. Only one who can do so will produce a spiritual result. Swami Vivekananda, a great spiritual luminary of India, was motivated by a desire expressed by his guru, Ramakrishnan Paramhans, who once said to him, "I hope someday you will visit the US and introduce Indian spirituality to the American people." Swami Vivekananda took these words to the heart, and in 1893, he came to know of an international religious conference to be held in Chicago, and he followed the advice of his guru. With the help of his friends, he embarked on a ship setting sail for America, and after a long voyage reached Chicago. There, with the help of an American he chanced to meet, he managed to receive an invitation from the conference organizers. At the conference, he saw that everybody addressed the audience very formally as ladies and gentlemen. But when he was invited to speak, he went to stage and said, "Sisters and brothers of America," and then delivered his lecture. This kind of address was an introduction to the Indian spirituality that the American people had experienced. The resounding applause he received by calling his audience sisters and brothers rather than ladies and gentlemen showed that he had touched their hearts. Since all human beings have a common ancestor, there is no difference between an American and an Indian. So sisterhood and brotherhood is interwoven into the nature of every human. When you call people brothers and sisters, you make a profound psychological impact. In terms of nature, or in terms of the creation plan of God, the we and they concept is unrealistic. And it is the opposite of the factual position. So when you address people by saying, "Ladies and gentlemen," you don't touch their hearts. But when you address them as sisters and brothers, you remove the psychological wall between yourself and them, and alienation disappears. Everyone becomes like a member of family. It is a miracle. But you cannot perform this miracle when you say sister and brothers as a form of lip service. It has to come from deep down from your heart. Lip service is mere hypocrisy. Whereas a wholehearted address is like a psychological wake-up call that has the power to rivet your listener's attention. True spirituality comes from the heart. It has nothing to do with address or religious rites. There is a saying, "Charity begins at home." The same is true of spirituality. Spirituality begins with one who projects himself as a spiritual person. Only one who can do so will produce a spiritual result. Although spirituality is a matter of the heart, it does have external manifestations which show that a spiritual person is quite different from others. If one is not a truly spiritual person, the very manner of their utterances would betray the truth about them. While if somebody is truly spiritual, their speech, their tone, their words, their behavior will confirm their sincerity. There are natural flowers and there are plastic flowers. Artificial flowers may look very similar to natural flowers, but they have no fragrance. A natural flower will look like a real flower, but will also have a pleasing, sweet fragrance. This is the same true for spirituality. Spirituality, which is not true, is like an artificial flower, whereas real spirituality has a true spirit like a natural flower. Only true spirituality can revolutionize your personality and create a change.